What everyone gets wrong about carry-on travel this year, thinking it's the safe, cheap option. In 2025, that little roller bag has become the airline's biggest trap. You book the budget ticket, you pack light, you show up early, and then a gate agent slaps a yellow tag on your approved carry-on like it's contraband. And here's the part airlines won't warn you about: the shrinking bins, the surprise fees, the forced gate checks. None of it is random. It's all a system designed to trip you up. So today, we're exposing exactly how the carry-on game really works in 2025 and how you can beat it before it drains your wallet and your sanity. Stick around to the end for a tiny trick mid-flight that gives you way more legroom. But first, let's start with the biggest mistake travelers are making right now: thinking carry-ons are actually cheaper than checked bags. Tip 1. Airlines now charging more for carry-ons than checked bags. That cute little roller bag you bought to beat checked luggage fees? In 2025, it's become the most expensive mistake at the airport. Some airlines now charge more for carry-ons than they do for checked bags. Seriously, you could check a full-size suitcase for less than what they'll hit you for just to bring a small one on board. And the worst part? They don't advertise it clearly. You see that low budget fare, click buy, and feel like you scored a deal until check-in, when you're suddenly slapped with a $65 carry-on convenience fee. Convenience? Please. The only thing it's convenient for is the airline's bottom line. So here's the rule: don't assume your carry-on is free, and don't assume it's cheaper than checked luggage. Always check the airline's baggage page before you book, not after. Because that cheap flight? It's not so cheap once your little bag costs more than your seat. Tip 2. Gate check roulette. You pay for it, then lose it anyway. So let's say you do cough up the money for your carry-on. You're feeling smug, boarding pass in hand, rolling your approved bag toward the plane. Victory, right? Not so fast. Because now comes the cruelest part of the carry-on game: gate check roulette. Here's how it goes. The agent glances around, shrugs, and says the 4 words every traveler dreads. "We're out of space." Translation: hand over your bag. Doesn't matter that you paid to carry it. Doesn't matter that the airline promised guaranteed overhead bin space. Nope. That bag is headed to the belly of the plane. And here's where it really stings. The stuff you actually need, meds, laptop, valuables, suddenly vanish down a conveyor belt with zero warning. You're left crossing your fingers that your convenience bag doesn't come back crushed, delayed, or worse, missing. That's why frequent flyers will tell you, never, ever trust the overhead bin gamble. Because in 2025, the odds are stacked against you. Tip 3. Skip the carry-on. Go all in on a personal item. Here's the move seasoned travelers are quietly making in 2025. Ditch the carry-on altogether and just bring a personal item. Sounds risky, right? Like, how are you supposed to fit everything into one bag that slides under the seat? But this single choice kills the 3 biggest travel headaches. First, no surprise fees. Even the stingiest budget airlines still let you bring one personal item for free. Second, no gate check drama. That backpack or underseat bag never leaves your side. And third, no more gate lice panic. You can stroll onto the plane last if you want, bag in hand, knowing you've already won. It's not about packing less, it's about flying smarter. And hey, if you're finding these tips helpful so far, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out, and don't forget to subscribe. I've got plenty more airport hacks and insider travel tips coming your way. Tip 4. The Ranger Roll plus Compression Cube Combo. If you're going all in on a personal item, packing smart is everything. And here's the combo that changes the game. The Ranger Roll plus Compression Cubes. The Ranger Roll comes straight out of the military. It's how soldiers pack for space, speed, and survival. You fold, roll, and lock your clothes into tight little burritos that don't unravel, don't wrinkle, and slide into every spare inch of your bag. But don't stop there. Drop those rolls into a compression packing cube, zip it once like normal, then zip it again. And boom, the air squeezes out like you just vacuum sealed your wardrobe. Jeans, hoodies, even sweaters shrink down to neat little bricks. I've seen people fit a week's worth of winter gear into one underseat backpack with this method. Without it? Forget it. With it, you'll feel like you're cheating the system. Tip 5. Airlines shrinking bin space and cracking down on weight. Remember when overhead bins felt bottomless? Yeah, not anymore. In 2025, airlines are quietly rolling out smaller bins. And here's the kicker. They're actually weighing carry-ons at the gate. That bag you thought was fine? Suddenly, it's overweight. And instead of sliding it overhead, you're sliding your credit card. Some airlines are even charging by the kilo, like your suitcase just bought a gym membership. The worst part? Travelers don't see it coming. You think you've packed light, you get all the way to boarding, and bam! They make you pay extra or check it on the spot. No warning, no mercy. So don't gamble here. Double-check your airline's weight limits and actually weigh your bag at home. Because if you don't, the scale at the gate is waiting, and it's not on your side. Tip 6. The wrong personal item ruins everything. This one drives me crazy. People do all the smart packing, rolls, cubes, the works, and then throw it all into a tiny tote bag that can barely hold a laptop. Congratulations, you just wasted the one bag that actually matters. See, personal item sounds small, but airlines define it as any bag that fits under the seat. That means you can go way bigger than you think, as long as you stay within their listed dimensions. Smart travelers measure that max size, then buy a backpack or structured bag that pushes right up to the edge. My go-to? Something that opens like a suitcase, with spots for tech, chargers, even shoes, and it still slides perfectly under the seat. Play it right, and your personal item ends up holding more than most people's carry-on. Play it wrong, and you'll be sitting there with a fashion bag that looks cute and carries nothing. Tip 7. Seat back pocket equals laptop graveyard. It looks so harmless, right? You're mid-flight, you want a break, so you slide your laptop into the seat back pocket. Big mistake. That pocket was built for a safety card and maybe a bag of pretzels, not your $1,000 MacBook. Here's what happens. The person in front of you reclines and crunch. Screens crack, hinges snap, and suddenly your carry-on savings just turned into a repair bill. One traveler even posted the aftermath on TikTok. Brand new laptop, totaled in one nap. And even if your tech survives, let's talk germs. Those seat pockets are like the junk drawer of the plane. Old tissues, half-eaten snacks, mystery goo. You really want your laptop marinating in that? The smarter move? Always slide it back into your underseat bag, ideally padded, zipped, and safe. It takes 5 extra seconds, but it saves your laptop and your sanity. Tip 8. TSA banned items still ruin security lines. It's 2025, and somehow, people still can't get the basics right. Oversized lotion bottles, pocket knives, giant cans of hairspray. Every single day, travelers get stopped for packing stuff they should have left at home. And who pays the price? Everyone stuck behind them in line. Liquids and gels? The 3-1-1 rule is alive and well. One clear bag, bottles no bigger than 3.4 ounces. Mess it up and say goodbye to that expensive face cream. Sharp objects? Don't even try. If it doesn't belong in a kindergarten art class, it doesn't belong in your backpack. And then there's the power bank fiasco. People still toss them into checked luggage, even though they're carry-on only. That mistake has caused actual flight delays. Airlines don't mess around with lithium batteries. So here's the simple fix. Check the TSA banned list before you pack, and if you're not sure, ask. Otherwise, you'll be the reason a whole line of tired travelers groans in unison. And trust me, nobody forgets the person who cost them 20 minutes at security. Tip 9. The legroom slide hack. Your personal item has to stay under the seat for takeoff and landing, no way around it. But once you're in the air and that seatbelt sign clicks off, you've got options. Here's what frequent flyers do. They slide their bag back just a few inches, from under the seat to right behind their calves. Doesn't block the aisle, doesn't bother anyone, but suddenly, your legs actually have room to move. On a 3-hour flight, that little shift is the difference between landing with cramped, aching knees or stepping off feeling human. It's not flashy, but when you pair it with the rest of these hacks, it feels like you've actually beaten the system.